death, and aliens, an in-depth look at horror and sci-fi TV from two friends who vaguely know what they're doing. I'm Courtney,
I'm MK.
and how are you?
I am okay. I forgot that I had to find something to talk about.
Hmm.
Um, what have I even done? Like, what do we do?
You
Um,
worked.
I
I
did
think you've
work.
worked
I've
since then.
worked a lot since then. That's really all I've done. Um,
You read books.
no,
You
I have
cried about
not.
the bills.
I cried about what?
The bills.
Well, yeah, no, that was yeah, no, the Bills. I don't know what happened. I I do blame Doug. Doug came over to watch the game, and
Mm,
that means that he can never come over to watch a game again, apparently, because that
yeah.
was just really, really bad. Um,
No, that's totally fair. I support that.
I just I think at one point during the game, Josh Allen must have just thought, I'm probably gonna die today because I've been sacked so many times, so I'm just gonna
Hmm.
stand here and wait for them to hit me
Yeah.
because maybe death will be easier.
Yeah. I think that's a valid assessment.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Nick missed most of the game because he was putting the baby down.
yeah,
And so he kept coming back in and being like, "How's it going?" And I was just like, "How am I not?" Just like sobbing on your chair. And then I like walked out. I like had my head down. And I was like, "Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. I hope it's a better day." He's
yeah.
like, "Okay." I was like,
No.
I'm okay. I'll see you tomorrow."
At the beginning of the fourth quarter was about to start, and I just go, I'm on new medication that I have to take a half hour before I go to bed.
Hmm.
So I'm just gonna go take my pills and go to sleep because I'm clearly not gonna gain anything by continuing to watch this game. And I did.
Yeah,
I went upstairs. I did not watch the last like 15 minutes of the game. I got nothing.
that's fair. Jill told me she like went to sleep, or she was like, I was gonna go to sleep or went to sleep or something. She said she woke up. I was like, you should have stayed asleep.
Yeah.
You should have. Now you've ruined your night of sleep.
Yeah.
Congratulations. It was the wrong move.
Yeah.
I
No,
texted your sister though because they played in Houston, obviously,
yeah.
and they kept showing like outside shots, and they kept going, "It can't be daylight there. It's not daylight here." And I was like, I mean, we're the same time zone, so I don't think so. So I just texted Bree and I was like, "Is it daylight?" That your sister has to think I'm a lunatic because I just text her the most unhinged things every like six
Yeah.
months, and like, so I was like, "Is it daylight?" And she was like, "No, the sun set like half hour ago." I was like, "Okay, we're watching the game." I don't preface it. I just ask my question and then I tell you why I've asked
Yeah.
it.
No, Zara was so upset that they weren't at the game because it was in Houston. And Brie was like,
Hmm.
honestly, like I thought about going, but it would have been like $500 for all four of us to like
Jesus
go to the
Christ,
game.
yeah.
And then also like the game starts at what, 7:15 your time?
Hmm.
Okay. Time zones are dumb. They don't make sense to me. But like if the game starts at like 7, that means and with Houston traffic, that means you're not getting the girls home to bed till midnight. That's not
Hmm. Yeah, I leave Nick's after 10 every time.
at the
Yeah.
earliest. So that's not gonna happen. I'm sure Zara is not doing well because she takes it like a personal affront every time the Bills don't win. She cries and asks why the Bills can't play football today. And
Me
same.
too. Me too, girl.
Um, but yeah, so that was really like I worked all day Wednesday, and then I worked Friday, and I worked Saturday, and today's Sunday, and I have to work when we get done with this. So like I just done nothing but work and cry over football. So
Well, don't use up all your material in this one episode.
I'll find something to talk about. I don't know. I mean,
Mm.
it's really hard when you do nothing but sleep and
Yeah,
go to work.
yeah.
So there's that. How are you?
I'm great. It's Sunday morning. It's a different time for me than Monday night.
Yeah.
Um, these are different experiences. Um, I'm having cake for breakfast. My
They
leftover
they
birthday cake.
usually they usually would be different experiences for me, but I'm so fucking tired today. It might as well be Monday night.
I know. Yeah, I slept mostly regular, and I haven't really done it. I finished my book this morning. It's a very different experience than me showing up on Monday night after being bad, usually. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm eating the rest of my birthday cake slice. So for my birthday, we got this like chocolate cake because that's what they had a whole cake of. But my favorite cake that Winn-Dixie does is this marshmallow cream cookie dough chocolate cake, but they don't do it as a full cake, just as a slice.
Mm.
So Rachel got me a cake, but then they also got me a slice. And so I'm eating the rest. I probably shouldn't eat the rest of the slice, but I'm probably doing it.
I
And
just
it is so good.
I think I just got diabetes listening to
Uh-huh.
what's in that cake.
It's so good though. Like I didn't eat this whole slice today. This is probably right here where I
Thank
stopped.
thank God. Thank God. Oh my God.
Yeah, I might make it through the rest of this before we finish recording
Which
because I
is
didn't
fair.
have
It's
this.
fair because that's not a
Yeah.
lot of cake, but
It's a lot for me. I don't eat a lot of cake, so it's a lot for me. But in the spectrum of life, it's really not that much that I'm eating
which
today.
is actually really funny. So my one of the clubs at our school did a Krispy Kreme sale, which is
Mhm.
always a really big deal because we don't have a Krispy Kreme here. So like somebody has to like drive 2 hours away and pick it up when we do fundraisers and stuff like that. We don't have a Krispy Kreme here. So like Krispy Kreme sales are like a really big deal.
Mhm.
So I got 2 dozen donuts. But we all the teachers who ordered donuts from this kid, gotta
Mhm.
love I love this boy. He's so sweet. He's a senior, but he might actually reside on the planet Neptune and like have to come back to Earth for school. Like his brain is so far out of where it's supposed to be 90% of the time. We were told that the donuts were coming next week, like right before Thanksgiving break. And we were like, that's great. We'll order a bunch. We'll give donuts to our kids in class and then take home whatever's left, right? No, no, no. They came Friday after school. So kids are already gone. We can't give the donuts away.
Mhm.
It's the weekend.
Right.
So, and I told Dan, I was like, I'm getting Krispy Kreme donuts today. I didn't tell him how much I ordered. I said I got some regular for me and I got some lemon cream for you. And he was like, awesome. But it was a fundraiser. I couldn't just buy donuts. I bought a dozen lemon cream and a dozen
Right.
glazed. Dan gets home from work Friday and goes, why are there so many donuts here? I was like, I told you. He goes, I didn't know it was gonna be. So we've been like living on Krispy Kreme donuts all weekend. So
That's amazing. It's amazing. I love that.
I haven't had any yet today. So between episodes, I might
There's,
go make a plate of Krispy Kreme donuts.
yeah, I'll probably make something with salt and substance at some point in between episodes. Um, but yeah, so I'm fine. We had Friendsgiving last night. And so I drank wine and I ate one plate of food when I should have had three probably, and I did not. I did have like one of my friends made pigs in a blanket. And I don't
Okay.
know what he did differently to them. I think he must have added some seasonings that people don't add. They
Okay.
were so good. And they were good before I started drinking wine. So like then I kept drinking and we kept eating them throughout the night. Um, my friend Chelsea hosted, and there is so much food. Like we were some of the last people to leave, and her counter's just coated
Well,
with
I have a
like
question. I have a question because we talked on the podcast last week about how many people were theoretically attending said Friendsgiving. How many
not 50
people?
to 60. It was 30 to 40 with the kids, 30 to 40. It's a
Okay.
regular group. They just are crazy sometimes. Like you can look at so I look we had like 23 people marked as going. Um and then like they also have kids because their kids aren't on Facebook because they're 5.
Yeah.
Um and so like okay, I was like this feels like a lot. But then of course throughout the day people are like I'm not coming. I'm not coming. I'm not coming.
And like some people
And it
didn't
was
actually bring their partners or children, but
correct. But like it was just our regular friend group that like shows up for game night. So it was like probably 30. And like some people came and went, like some
yeah.
people got there early. And so like her like like her brother-in-law and sister left a little bit earlier than everybody else, and like one of our other friends like got off work and came for an hour and then went back to work. Like,
Yeah.
so it wasn't even like the whole time a ton of people, but it was just it was just funny. No, it was our regular friend group. Like Kirsten texted us when she got there and was like, uh, I said, how many people are there? First of all, she says 40. And then she texts back immediately and says 20. I said, Kirsten, those aren't the same numbers.
No.
Um, and I was like, is there anyone there we don't know? And she was like, no. I was like, okay, that's really all I needed to know.
But also, it still makes me nervous that your regular game night friend group is like 20 to 40 people because mine is 6.
Yeah, well, they all went to high school together. They all have kids now. And like they're all married. So you have to like four per person, basically. You count four people per person at this point. Um, and there's
No.
like six families.
No, but like when I do things like Mo's husband Tim is always traveling.
Hmm.
Um, Ashley's husband Andy is the most antisocial person I've ever met. Um, Amy's son Benny is still like less than 2, and so Matt stays home with Benny. Um, Emmy and Teddy are really like not very social, very routine, like very bedtime kind of girls. And so Trevor stays with the girls, so Chrissy comes without Trevor. Um, Chris, I love Chris, but he would never hang out with all of us, especially with all of the other husbands being AWOL. So Chris stays with Cora. And last time I did a big group thing was before Jill started dating. Um, her boyfriend, who I feel really bad. I just blanked on his name because I haven't met him. I haven't met him yet. They've been together for a couple months, but like Jill and I just like
Yeah.
our schedules have been so crazy. Like I haven't made it out to her, and he and she has only made it out here for like very short family things. So like I have not yet met him, and I know his name, but it is left my brain at this moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, and because no one else is bringing their husbands, Dan is like, I mean, I'll be there if you want me to, but
Right. I guess I live
so
there, so I'll be there. Let me
right.
know.
But so like yeah, no, our game days don't do that. There's the 7 of us. That's it.
Well, no, ours is, I mean, like I said, that because everyone's got kids and they're between newborn and 9.
Yeah.
So they're there and they all bring their kids and we do it like at the firehouse or one of like our friends' houses or whatever. So like there's room usually for
Yeah.
everyone. For the kids to run wild. Um,
It's funny,
but
but
Rachel
even
wants
even when Dan does guys' night things, none of the guys bring their wives. I'm the only one who ever comes to boys' night.
oh no, this is like because they all went to high school together and so like
Oh,
everyone's friends, like it's not like this wife was added, this husband was added. It's like everyone was in the same group in high school. And so like they just
that's
married each other now. And so like you can't bring one without the other unless it's
that's
like
just
we'll go have coffee. Like me and Rachel and Stella or me and Rachel, Stella and Haley will go like have coffee or whatever. And like that's fine. We don't need
yeah.
the extended group. But like if it's like a group activity, it's like everyone. It's not just
Well,
like
and it's so funny because like I so like we've done like football games at Jake's house, and when we go to Jake and
mhm,
Jenna's obviously right there, and when we do football games at Daniel's house, Dana's obviously there, and when we do football games here, I'm obviously there, but I'm the only one of the wives who goes to the other people's houses for football games. Like I go to Jake and Jenna's, I go to Daniel and Dana's, but they don't come here. And to be fair, they all have little kids, and Dan and I don't, and like
yeah.
Doug doesn't, and so like. Or like the other night, we did a football game and Doug came over, but B and Winter didn't because the game started at 8 and Winter's bedtime is 9:30. Like,
Yeah.
so like
Yeah.
actually 9:30
Right.
might be late. I don't know what time Winter's bedtime is, but it's definitely not way earlier than the game was
It's
gonna
definitely
end.
not midnight.
Right. But like yeah, so like it's we're all in weird different places in our like, friend groups, and also like
Yeah.
my friend group is like a hodgepodge of people I met at different times that I forced to be friends with each other.
That's usually my friend group.
Yeah.
I just joined this one. This one wasn't one I created. I just joined it.
But it still makes me anxious to think of spending. I'm like anxious for Thanksgiving dinner and it's 17 people and they're all like our first cousins, and that's still too much for me.
I'll talk about that in the next episode. But Rachel wants the three of us to do a hangout night or like a game night or something
Okay.
on the on the internet.
Yeah, I'm down. I also
That's very small. That's very small.
that's very small. I can do that. I also, it's so funny because people keep saying they post, I keep seeing these videos on TikTok that are like, people say like long distance, like I can't do long distance friendship, but other people, or people always talk about long distance friendship and they say I don't know ball, and then it shows the difference between like them and their best friend. And it's all these people in England. So like the farthest away their best friend is like 4.5 hours. And I was like, do you people realize how far Courtney and Rachel are from me? Like it's
No.
a 29-hour drive.
Yeah. Rachel asked me yesterday, or the day before, she was like, does Mary Kate have like real friends in Buffalo? And I was like, she does. She was like, do you think she has too many friends yet? Like, what if we all just three became a group of friends? I was like, I think you're allowed to be her friend. It's like I think she has room for you as a friend. She's like, okay, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
No, I mean, but like you, yeah, like you and Rachel are 29 hours away.
Yeah.
Sarah is in New Hampshire, which is 6.5 hours away. And I think Sarah sometimes forgets how far Buffalo actually is because in her brain, I live in New York City, which is not true. Because
Yeah,
she's like,
yeah.
I can't wait to hang out with you now that I'm back in New England. And I'm like, girl, that is like a 7-hour drive. That's not a hangout time.
Ah, you know, it's a weekend. It's a weekend
It,
trip.
it's a whole, but it's a whole weekend trip. It's not
Right,
just
right,
like a
right.
let's get coffee trip. Um,
No, yeah, yeah, yeah. No.
Jill is like 2.5 hours away.
That could be a hangout trip
That
though.
could be a hangout trip. No, literally, the only person that I have no excuse is Kate because she lives 2 blocks away.
Yeah, yeah.
I can see her house. Like
Hmm.
so I don't have an excuse on that one. And to be fair, that is probably who I see the most, so that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Ugh, but yeah.
Love it. Well, now that we've told you our life stories,
Yeah.
do you want to give me some joy? I couldn't think
Sure.
of a
I don't know.
transitioning word.
I don't know if I understand this one, so we'll find out.
Excellent.
Turns out sometimes you have to do the wrong thing. Sometimes you have to make a big mistake to figure out how to make things right. Mistakes are painful, but they're the only way to find out who you really are. I know who I am now. I know what I want. I've got the love of my life, a new heart, and I want you guys to get on the next plane out here and meet my girl. Everything's going to be different now, I promise. From here on out, nothing's ever going to be the same. I love you. Bye. I don't know what that who did the voiceover for that episode or what that was about.
I mean, is it not when she adopted her daughter?
It's only season 3.
She was early on.
No, season 3, her and Derek hadn't even figured their shit out yet. This is season 3, episode 4.
Mm,
Um,
I don't know what happened.
where is the Wikipedia article for this page?
Mhm.
Because I don't. Oh, it's Denny. Denny does that voiceover at the end of the episode. It's like him writing a
This is
letter
what
to.
you've brought me today. This is what you've brought me. This is not joy. I specifically requested joy, and you bring me Denny? No, no, I
Yeah.
can't. I can't. Nope. Heathen. Um, well,
Wait, no,
I guess
oh
that's
yeah. Yeah, because it's when Denny's dad comes and brings Izzy the money after he died. So the voiceover was the letter that Denny had written to his family.
this is why I'm having cake for breakfast. Well, in other news, um, we are talking about her new show, Penny Dreadful. It is season one, episode two, called Seance. It came out May 12th of 2014, and it was rated 8.3 out of 10. So pretty decent rating. I also personally liked it better than the first episode.
I did
So, I mean,
too.
I liked the first episode, but I
I
liked this
did
one
no,
more.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I like this one a lot. But then I also have to admit that I forgot so many of the things that happened in this episode
Right.
until you just said the word seance, and then I go, oh shit. Yeah,
It'll come
yep.
back to you, don't worry.
It will. Whew,
Um, Number one song is Happy. If you recall, we're back in that range where it's always happy forever.
forever.
Um, our number one movie is Godzilla. And the number one book is The Target by David Baldacci. Um, on this day, gosh, oh good, I wrote more reports than I anticipated. The page quote My Stealthy Freedom reached 13,000 likes on Facebook. This is when the women of Iran were doing their big movement where they were taking off their
Oh,
jobs in the middle of the city. And this was like one of their like peak days where they had like reached
got it.
13,000
Yeah.
likes. Um, Iran also said we have a little bit more on news. Also said that they successfully duplicated a U.S. government drone. Um, who's to say? This was 11 years ago, and now I forgot that even happened. Um, and Don Sterling, who was previously the Clippers owner and he was banned, says that he's not racist and that his girlfriend baited him into being racist online, and that's why he made the comments he made. And also, alternatively, if you don't buy that story, he's likely in the early stages of dementia, and that also attributed to it. Um, these are multiple factors. Take your pick of which one you like for the reasoning why he is not racist and why his band doesn't work for him. Um, I don't think it was bought. Like, I don't think it bought into it, but barely came out this day and like made this like massive statement to
Good.
try and get back in the good graces. And
Great.
I don't think it worked. Um, our director is still Jay Bayona, writers John Logan, and the editors are Jamie Marti and Bernard Villapano. So everyone is returning from last week. Um, so I have to flip back because I have to talk about somebody actually in the episode. Um, and one of our stars this week is Reeve Carney, who plays Dorian Gray. Um, I guess I didn't. I obviously I mentioned this last week, and then was like, you were like, he wasn't even in the episode. I guess because I've heard of him more than I think I've heard of anyone other than like Timothy Dalton,
Yeah.
um, and Josh Hartnett, obviously.
Yeah.
So I was just like, yeah, yeah, he's everywhere. I just hear about him all the time. He's everywhere. He's known for Snow Falling on Cedars, Twilight Breaking Dawn, the soundtrack. She's the Man, and Spread.
Mhm.
I have a screenshot. Oh God, this is from a week ago. Okay, let's see how this goes. I'm glad when I write things down and I say, you've got a screenshot to read about this, and then I do things, and it doesn't work. Um, oh, he's got a lot of like musical elements that I was going to talk about. That's why I
Yeah.
screenshot it. He's the brother of the actor, musician, singer, songwriter Zane Carney, who was the guitarist for John Mayer. Um, and musician, singer, songwriter Paris Carney, who did Astronaut and Always the Quiet Ones. And he's the brother-in-law of the musician, composer, producer Greg Grabowski, who's the bass player for the Jonas Brothers. So like he has musical family
Yeah.
to the core. Um, he was the original Orpheus in Hadestown, which is I think why I know him. I'm not sure. I know him. I think that's where I learned about him.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
but he's just done a lot, so I've just seen a lot of him.
Yeah.
Because most recently he was also the MC in Cabaret on the West End. Um, and he actually married his wife, Eva Noblezada, in New Orleans, which I didn't realize.
Yeah, and they had a Hadestown themed wedding, and it was beautiful, and
That's so
they sang
cute.
to each other, and they did an actual like the traditional like parade down the street with the umbrellas in New Orleans and everything for their wedding.
Second
Yeah,
line.
and it
Yeah,
was, and everyone from the original cast was there, and it was like a reunion, and it was so cute, and I cried.
that's precious. I missed that somehow.
Ugh,
But I did stumble upon it, obviously, um, now. But I love it. I love it. I love him. Oh,
the first time I heard the original cast recording of Hadestown, I just sobbed, and I was like, I'm gonna marry that man, just his voice.
was that the one from like '06 or like the original, like the Broadway original?
The original Broadway original, not the one from
Gotcha,
06.
gotcha.
Although I know he worked with Anais Mitchell for a long time, so I don't remember if he was working with her for the original.
I don't remember either.
I don't remember
Remember
either,
either.
but no, but he was the original Broadway for sure.
Yeah.
And then I
I
also had a breakdown because one of the first replacements after he left was Jordan Fisher, and that was too much for me.
I saw Jordan Fisher in Hadestown, and it was
Oh my God.
Amazing. It was. I was front row. Like that's whenever I almost died in Hades Town, to be clear, because I was sitting in the like front corner row, right,
Yeah.
like where you're almost like you could just touch the stage.
Yeah.
And so you're kind of angled, but I'm right in front of where they do the smoke.
Yeah.
And I truly thought I was gonna, I think I've talked about this on the podcast, but I truly thought I was gonna die because every time it smoked, my eye was just like watered. And I was like, I'm not even crying. I just can't breathe. But it was beautiful otherwise.
Yeah.
And my tickets were
No,
like $30, so.
my high school is doing Hades Town this year.
Oh, how
So
fun.
I'm so
I love
excited.
that.
So excited. So,
That's fun. I love
and
it.
of
I love
course,
these.
we'll talk more about it in the episode, but Dorian Gray is one of my favorite books of all time. And so the fact that I just love Reeves so much and he's playing a character that I just love so much, I'm like geeking out.
Yeah, yeah. We will talk about that for sure more. The other person I'm going to talk about, since we have a lot of others to talk about, is Roy Kinnear, who plays the creature. And he is known for The Imitation Game, Quantum of Solace, and Skyfall. So
Oh, good. So,
James Bond.
yeah.
He is in 4 James Bond films, and he's won 2 Olivier Awards for The Man of Mode and Iago in Othello.
Okay.
Um, he was in Mansfield Park with Billie Piper, so this is another thing. Like he's done other things with her.
Yeah.
And he won 2 Fangorias for Penny Dreadful for his work
Love
here.
it. Love
So
it. Mm.
love to hear it. Love to hear it.
Um, yeah. I have a comment about that, but I don't know if it is more related to this episode or the next episode. So I'll hold it to
Just
myself.
hold it.
Yeah,
Okay,
no, hold
perfect,
it.
perfect. So we start outside with a woman on a bench and a strange man walking by in fog. Um, and then she's murdered, and we see splatter of blood across the paper, which is talking about Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
Obviously, and this is a little bit what we had like started talking about last week.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to figure out who's doing all these murders. Um, but we're just getting small bites at a time, small bites at a time.
Yes.
So we'll find out eventually. And then we pop over to our friend Ethan, who appears to be he looks like he's beat up and homeless because he's just sleeping outside by the waterfront.
Yeah.
Um, it turns out he just didn't like book a room. He just was just surviving. But he goes into the bar that's also like an inn and then orders whiskey. And he's like, "This is my breakfast. This is what I need." And I
Yeah.
was like, honestly, if I woke up looking battered by the water and I saw it, I'd probably do the same thing. It just feels like the proper response. Um, and so then we go to Frankenstein, and Victor is teaching his creature, his monster, how to eat and like how to be a person or whatever. And he lets him name himself, and he picks
Proteus, yeah.
Proteus.
Which
Okay,
I have
yes,
I have notes about that.
excellent.
Um
I started that to have more notes.
and then you
So
did. Yeah, so he picks Proteus based on the Shakespeare play because he's going through a Shakespeare book, and it's really fascinating actually because so Proteus, the name, originally refers to the Greek god of the sea. So
mhm.
basically the old man in the sea. And we find out as the episode goes on that Proteus has memories and of fishing and whaling, like he was a sailor.
Yeah.
So it is that. But also in Two Gentlemen of Verona, Proteus is a villain. And the villain character in Two Gentlemen of Verona is very doesn't understand why they're a villain because they don't have a concept of why of like um not getting what they want. Like they have
Mhm.
he likes a girl and he sees her and he's like, so I should date her, like she's mine. And like he doesn't
Mm,
really understand how people work. And he does a lot of really bad things. Like he raped somebody. He's a really shitty person. But like the problem is that his villainy comes from his complete lack of empathy or understanding of human beings.
sure.
Which so it's a double the name um fits both like sides of the coin of this Frankenstein creature.
I love that. I knew it was gonna be something like that, but I obviously I'm not an English teacher, and so mine's just for the love of the game, not for any real reason. And but I was like, I know this means something in a different literary sense, and I don't know what it is. And then I didn't look it up because I think I just put stars on my page and say they're just there to be pretty
Well,
now.
I will say my notes for Penny Dreadful are really funny because I basically all I do is every time they bring up a new literary or historical like allegory or illusion, I pause and I put all my notes about that and then I move on. So like all of my notes for this episode, I have my notes about Proteus, I have my notes about Dorian Gray, and I have my notes about Ron Ominette, and that's the
See,
only
this is what I wanted. This is what
this
I wanted when we
this is
started
the only
this
this is the only notes I
show.
have for this episode. Like
Yeah,
who knows what happened in the episode? You tell me the plot. I don't remember it, but
right.
but the
Yeah.
illusions I got.
I know. I'm so glad because literally every time I put a star and not looked it up, you've had the answer on your end so far. And so it's perfect. Well, now that we've introduced Proteus officially,
Yeah.
we now are welcoming a new character, Billy Piper, whose character is named Brona.
Which
Not Krona if I say that at any point because I wrote Krona down sometimes in my notes for some reason. Her name is Brona Croft though,
Brona
and
means
sadness in Gaelic, or
sadness in
no, he's
Gaelic.
yeah, sadness in
Sadness in
Gaelic.
Gaelic, yeah.
Um, and she just walks in and starts drinking Ethan's whiskey. Because she just doesn't care. She's
Nope.
just like, this is who I am. Um, and then we pop over to Sir Malcolm, and they have a conversation, but it's kind of
Yeah.
irrelevant. So I skipped it. We head over to Sir Malcolm's, and Victor shows up to meet with him. And they show him the entire hieroglyph body that the skin was removed because if we recall, we learned about carrion beetles last week, and
Hmm.
Vanessa took that to heart and removed all of the flesh. So all we had left were the hieroglyphs.
Yes.
Smart. Um, and Vanessa can tell that Victor's keeping a secret this whole time, and he's just like, no, everything's fine.
Well, and
But she just,
the weird thing is the way that she can tell is by like quoting romantic poetry to him and like
yeah,
which is so funny. Like it doesn't even make sense.
it doesn't. Um,
Mhm.
and then we go to Dory Gray, and Billy Piper has gone to visit him. Um, and that's when we learn that he's Dorian Gray. But of course, his like opening is just staring at pictures, because that is the story. Do you want to give a little quick overview of
Yeah.
Dorian?
So quick overview of Dorian Gray. If you have not read the book, you should.
I'm not.
It's by Oscar
We will.
Wilde. We will. It is well in my top 10 favorite books. But Dorian Gray is a rich, like basically everything you saw in this episode. He's rich, he's young, he loves art, he is as pompous and disgusting as you would think. But he basically is immortal
Mhm.
because he has this. They never really discuss how, whether it's cursed or enchanted. It's something like that. But there's this painting that was done of him that basically is holds all of his inner ugliness on this painting. And like as the book goes on, the painting gets more and more ugly and more old and more disgusting. The worse and worse a person Dorian gets, but the prettier and younger he gets because the painting is like the embodiment of all of the evil inside of him. So like he's your classic most beautiful, like handsome character who is the most disgusting human on the inside you will ever find.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. Yes, I will read that in January.
It's Oscar
Um,
Wilde. It's Oscar Wilde, so the language is just beautiful.
I'm trying to think if I've read an Oscar Wilde book. I feel like surely I have. What else does he write?
I mean, he wrote a lot of plays,
Hmm.
but The Importance of Being Earnest is the one that he's the most famous for.
I think I
And
worked with one of his plays. Do you
yes,
have any, do you have musicals?
no. There are musicals based on his works,
Yeah, that's what I was.
But so like Oscar Wilde, the importance of being earnest, like I said, and the picture of Dorian Gray are like his two most
Right, right.
but A Woman of No Importance, An Ideal Husband, and Lady Windermere's Fan are like his other big plays. Um,
The Cannibal Ghost. I think I read that one.
mm, I have not read that one.
Mm,
Oscar Wilde also, his letters are very important, and very good in history because Oscar Wilde was, a he was a homosexual man at a time where that was not legal,
yes.
and he for a while was very secretive about it and then kind of just gave up on being secretive, and it was not really great for his public persona, but
Yeah.
a lot of his plays are comedic plays that are like satirical about high
Mhm.
society and the way things went there. And they're very funny. And when you take them on the surface, they're still very funny. But when you take them through the lens of his, like, what he went through as a gay man in that
Yeah.
time, it's very interesting. He's fascinating. And the picture of Dorian Gray was like a gothic literature novel. It was this horror monster, but it was also very referential in the sense that he
Mhm.
felt that the image that he portrayed as this playwright and as this person that society loved
Yeah.
was the young, handsome version of Dorian, and he felt like he was the ugly, old, nasty portrait monster version of Dorian on the
Mm.
inside because of the way society made him feel about his choices. So
That makes sense.
it's a very well done look at like self bigotry and like what that does to you.
Yeah. That's fascinating. I knew he was gay. I knew his letters were important because of that. But I guess but I haven't read Dorian Gray, so I guess I didn't like do a deep
Yeah.
dive into it about that. But that's sad and tragic and wonderful that he's done. I mean, he's dead now, but he did
Yeah,
so
well,
well.
yeah,
He's so well renowned now.
he died like 125 years ago
Yeah,
next
yeah,
week.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
no, next week actually is like the 125th anniversary of his death. So
is it on? Nope, we're not recording this week. So
it's on November 30th.
hmm. Are we record is that
It's
Sunday
a
or Monday?
Sunday. It's a Sunday.
Hmm. Yeah, I'll be in a car. Um, yeah, so that is our little overview of the story, Greg. I'm sure a lot of that will develop throughout the series. We just
Yeah,
have to make progress with two.
we don't get a ton of info about him in this episode, so I'm sure there will
Yeah.
be more.
Yeah. Um, and then we have um Malcolm has gone to visit an inspector with his friend that we don't know yet because they don't really talk about him much.
Did they do the whole Dorian Gray scene right there, or was that just the intro of like him
That
being
was
there
just
and
the
her taking the
intro.
picture? Oh, because I have comments
Yeah,
about
yeah.
the net. I have the comments about
Yeah,
when we
yeah. The
go back
next
to
scene
that.
is we have a very brief in between scene
Okay.
where Malcolm goes to visit the inspector along with his friend that we don't know anything about that I'm sure will be
Oh,
something.
his manservant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And he wants to he's wants to offer his help with these murders. He's like, I think I could be of assistance to you. And the inspector is like, who are you and why do you think you are gonna do better than the police? But okay.
Well, yes and no. I mean, he knows who he is.
Right, yeah,
He
yeah.
knows who he is. He knows he has money. He
I meant
knows
that in the
he
like,
in
who
the
do you
like,
think you are
oh,
sense. Yeah.
yeah, like he's like, I know your money would be helpful, but like, what
Right.
skills do you have that the police don't have?
Right. But yeah, so
Because I do appreciate the inspector's not dumb. Like a lot of times when they do
yeah.
shows like this, when they have like the secret mystery solving group and then the police, they make the police like bumbling, but the
Hmm.
inspector is not dumb. The inspector is the one who immediately is like, the Penny Dreadfuls are ruining everything. It is not Jack the Ripper. This is not his MO. This is not how that works. Like we don't know what it is, but somebody went after a child and I need to solve that and the Penny Dreadfuls are in the way. Like
Yeah.
he's not a bumbling idiot and I really appreciated that.
Yeah. I really like that too. I really like that too. And I also like that he was just like, your money's helpful, but we need to discuss more than just
Right.
what you're offering financially.
Yeah.
Um, and then we go back to Dorian Gray. And this is where he's taking photos of Verona. And this is where we learn that she has consumption, and that's why
Yes.
she just doesn't really care about anything. It seems she'll
Yeah.
just have whiskey for breakfast
Which
and go
is
take
which is
these
fair
pictures.
because in 1891 they did not have a cure for anything like that. And once you started coughing blood, that was the end of your life. Goodbye.
Yep, yep, that's the end. So she's like, here we are. I'm just gonna do some stuff. And so they start, this is how I've phrased this. They start taking pictures as if they are, quote, romantically intertwined. Um, and he is obsessed with the fact that she's dying. And she coughs blood on him and he likes it.
Yeah, he romantically intertwined is a really polite way of saying that because he quite literally says, and I quote, "I've never fucked a dying woman before. I think I like it."
Yes. Yes, he does. He does say that. I took some uh literary approach in my notes.
Which,
Um,
listen, so in character.
yeah.
So in character. The scratching of the back and the getting off on the blood and the liking that she's coughing in his face. So in character. However, poor sweet baby Reeve Carney saying that sentence just broke me. I was like, no, no, okay. No one should say that sentence. No.
No, 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 no. That is terrifying to hear as a sentence. Um, I
Although it
mean,
definitely
sounds
sounds
like
like
a
it would
serial
be. I
killer.
was like, it sounds like a serial killer. It also definitely sounds like something somebody would say in a dark romantic book.
That is true. Um, but also it makes me think of all these people. Like, I mean, obviously this is they have this trope and other things where someone's immortalized and they can't die. And so they try to find ways to feel like they're more alive.
Yeah.
So this is that he's like, I can't die. You can die. This is fascinating to me. I love this part. Which is
Yeah.
really
Like
unfortunate for
one
Mama.
one of the books I'm reading, one of the characters was like, I only ever have two emotions, lust and pain, and I can never feel either of them enough. And I was like, that is fucked up.
That is a strong take. That is a strong
That is a
take.
hot take that I do not think I want to be a part
Right. I do think that I can overfeel both of those things and have too much of them.
of.
Both of them. So good luck.
Right.
Um, and yeah, so this is our Dorian Gray Verona scene. And then oh Ethan went to the post office. I was like, I don't really know what this place is. It looks like a post office. He's getting a
Well, he
letter.
got a letter from his dad, so my guess is that it's the
Yeah.
post office.
But it looks like a train station. And so that's
Yes.
why I,
No, yeah, that's accurate. That's accurate. A lot of old tiny post offices do look like that.
yeah. I mean, our old not it used to be a bank and I think it also was a post office at once. The coffee shop down here that it's not good anymore, but used to be my favorite coffee shop.
Mm.
And it still looks kind of like this place.
Well, and it makes
Um,
sense because how are the like letters getting there by boats and by trains? So having like a train
oh,
depot
that's true. Yeah,
also
yeah.
serve like instead of having a separate building, they sort the mail when it arrives via boat or train, and then you have to come pick it
Yeah.
up. So it's like pre-postal service. Of course, the post stations were in train stations. That makes sense.
Yeah. No, that makes total sense. I keep forgetting we're in the 1800s. When did we get the post office? In the
Um,
30s?
well, I know the U.S. Postal Service is older than that. Let's see. The US Postal Service. I don't care about your website. I would like to Wikipedia you. Thank you. Um, I don't want to go to the post office. I want to research. The US Postal Service was found